anglers and boaters around the world have been sharing their stories and photos of the terrifying things they caught in rivers and swamps. It seems like no matter where you fish, you're bound to run into some sort of creepy, crawly creature. And in recent years, there have been numerous sightings of mysterious creatures found in rivers. From the strange ghostly light to the scary water vampires and the terrifying ancient swamp statues, these are the 15 terrifying things found in rivers and swamps. Number 15. Japanese Giant. The Japanese giant salamander is the world's third largest amphibian. This mysterious creature is known to be a river guardian. Despite its fish-like appearance, the Japanese giant has 2 hands, and this makes the animal appear creepy. They can weigh up to 55 pounds and measure nearly 5 feet in length. They live on land and in water. This already terrifying monster is naturally hostile, and we wouldn't want to be around if one of these river giants awoke and decided to fight. I bet no one would be able to struggle against their powerful force. However, these enormous beasts are today endangered species, and Japanese officials are doing everything possible to safeguard the few that remain. One of the challenges is habitat loss, and the natural regions they may occupy are shrinking by the day. Nevertheless, these ancient species have not been extinct in the last 20 million years, making them one of the world's oldest animals. In today's hidden topic, we are going to show you a terrifying creature spotted by some fishermen. In Thailand, a group of fishermen went fishing early in the morning, and what they captured in a river shocked the whole world. They saw a huge snake crawling out of the forest into a river. The sight of the snake sent chills down their spines, and they couldn't help but capture the moment from a distance after paddling their canoe towards the riverbank for safety. The length of the snake is not like anything we've ever seen. Why this snake was there at that moment and how it got there still remains a mystery. And do you think this picture is real or photoshopped? Kindly let us know in the comments section below. Number 14. Nightmare Fuel. It's easy to see why lamprey eels are considered the vampires of the river realm. These parasitic fishes lack jaws but make up for it with rows upon rows of razor-sharp teeth. While this isn't exactly good news, this clip shows footage that stunned and horrified the world after a fisherman on a river captured it. The lamprey eel he pulled in looked very nasty, but it was roughly 100 times bigger than the ones we usually see. This monster fish's head was larger than the man's fist, which is saying something because these terrifying eel fishes are generally little, measuring more than a few inches in length. Because of its monstrous size, this vampire fish is one of the most terrifying creatures we have ever encountered in the murky depths of rivers. It would have been great if we had never seen this terrible river monster, which will now undoubtedly appear in our dreams. Number 13. Bogged in Time. Over the past 2,000 years, researchers have unearthed a wide variety of artifacts from the bogs of northern Europe. These include everything from sacrificial tools and weapons to human remains. Workers clearing a drainage trench in the bog came across the ancient man's mummified remains. The man's skin was well maintained and became nearly leathery due to the conditions in the marsh, but his bones calcified normally. He was called the Old Crawling Man. We fear what else might be lurking in the murky depths of Europe's marshes, given that this individual has probably been here for hundreds of years. The circumstances of the man's death are a mystery, although many experts speculated that he was killed as part of a ritual human sacrifice performed by Celtic kings. But there was no proof to back up such an assumption. Number 12. Swamp People. Many have been captivated by the mysterious allure of the swamp inhabitants of the Gulf of Morbihan in France. In reality, this is an intriguing art exhibit reflecting our tense relationship with nature, rather than hideous, mummified swamp creatures frozen in time. At first, there were only 2 mystery figures, but now there are other statues. If you were walking adjacent to a swamp and came across these agonized figures with no idea what their deal was, you would probably be a little spooked out. This is undoubtedly one of the most fascinating artworks we've seen in quite some time. The colors and textures of the Gothic figures shift and evolve over time in response to the organic surroundings. This means that visitors might impact the region and return to entirely different sculptures. And if this were not captured, we would not have believed the swamp people really existed. Number 11. Methanogenic Madness. Natural methane gas can sometimes bubble up to the surface of rivers, as seen in this first clip taken on a river in Australia. This is a common sight in swamps, where the gas is often seen rising from the murky depths. Bog gas is one of the largest sources of naturally occurring methane gas in the atmosphere, and swamps are responsible for the annual production of billions of tons of methane. The Australian man instantly regretted his decision after lighting a match close to his boat and setting fire to the river's surface. As this demonstrates, methane gas is extremely combustible. Nonetheless, it is not recommended that you light methane bubbles in your local swamp or river, as the size of the methane resource is unknown. The river was declared the Philippines' newest methane reserve, discovered in a marsh, and this may turn the country's capital city of Manila into the next Dubai. Number 10. Ghostly lights. Once a year, mysterious red fireballs soar into the sky from a river in Thailand, prompting locals to celebrate and investigate this bizarre natural phenomenon. Crowds gather annually to witness this mysterious light show in the sky, which is best seen at night. Legend has it that an ancient river serpent that dwells deep in the water and only surfaces once a year to watch the annual celebrations is responsible for the red fireballs that rise as high as 600 feet into the air. Legend also has it that the fireballs originate from the serpent's guts. A large creature was reportedly trapped in the river in the 1930s, and many people believed it to be the monster responsible for the blazes. The Nage fireballs keep happening, and we have no idea if they are caused by methane bubbles bursting spontaneously or if an old dragon is living beneath the waves. But we hope for more explanations in the future. Number 9. Teethy River Monster. The fact that we are aware of the existence of dangerous animals in rivers should not make us any less wary of entering the water. We should inquire whether or not the river in question has a reputation for being infested with bull sharks. Since bull sharks can live in both salt and fresh water, nothing is keeping them from swimming up the nearby rivers. Because of this, and the fact that bull sharks are notoriously aggressive, they are among the most deadly species we have encountered. One of the worst things about rivers is the possibility of encountering sharks like these, who prefer to prey in areas frequented by humans. Nonetheless, we cannot fathom how someone could mentally recover from the experience of seeing such a behemoth swimming right next to them while in a tiny canoe. We have been lucky enough to record a few of these bull sharks' confrontations with hostile crocodiles on camera as they made their way up the river. Number 8. River monsters. These fishermen couldn't believe their good fortune when they pulled in one of these massive fishes, which are among the world's oldest and most spectacular species. Sturgeons are ancient fishes that have thrived in rivers across the globe for over 130 million years, and the massive size of these creatures indicates they have been hidden out in the river's depths for at least a few centuries. The sturgeon captured in northeast China was over 700 pounds and about 10 feet long. Due to their skill in evading capture and hiding in plain sight, few people can claim to have seen a monster fish up close. We wouldn't want to be in the water with a fish that seems like it might swallow a human whole, and it's rather terrifying to stand next to one. However, this enormous sturgeon is undeniably one of the most bizarre things ever discovered in a river. It kind of made us reconsider going for a dip in rivers in the future. If you've made it this far and haven't subscribed to this channel, what are you waiting for? Do it now, it's totally free, and you'll have good fortune for a whole week. Number 7. Secret Underwater River. Although the idea of a river running below the surface is absurd, a small, unassuming stream in the Yucatan Peninsula does just that. In this video, a river can be seen running independently from the rest of the body of water. At its deepest point, the Cenote Angelita underwater river is an astonishing 300 feet below the surface. The fact that you may swim here and explore the gorgeous landscape and trees that line the riverbeds is one of the most fascinating and eye-catching features of this river. A dense hydrogen sulfide cloud begins to build at about 83 feet below the surface of the water, creating the unique river and making it one of the coolest sights in the world. We had never seen anything quite like the river's alternating layers of fresh and saline water underneath the surface. Number 6. Water vampires. Vampires have long been a part of our folklore, but it was recently discovered that we aren't the only species with secret bloodsuckers. The Amazon basin is home to a species of vampire fish that can grow to be 3 feet in length. These fishes are most notable for their enormous teeth, which prevent them from closing their mouths. They are naturally cannibalistic and will consume almost everything they can get their fins on. This is the closest we've come to witnessing a species of vicious fish vampire. While they don't actually drain blood from their victims, they are extremely dangerous. This terrifying fish is hardly a prized specimen from the river world, and its ghostly appearance should make anyone think twice about diving into the river it lives in. Having one of these fishes with average fang lengths of 6 inches bite down on our toes or fingers while swimming in a river is probably everyone's biggest nightmare now. Number 5. Leech horrors. For as long as humans can remember, leeches have been one of those things we subconsciously worry about but hope we never have to face. However, the rivers of our world are teeming with countless species of leeches, each being unique but equally terrifying. This is one species we would be happy to never see again. Recently, it was discovered again in the Amazon basin after being thought to be extinct for so long. The horrific leech can reach a length of 18 inches, and it feeds almost exclusively on the blood of its prey. We can't help but note how wonderfully frightening every component of this huge leech's anatomy is, and it all screams subterranean monster. This is the absolute worst possible thing to find lurking in the murky depths of a swamp or river. We can't help but picture ravenous leeches straight out of the strange creatures universe and beg that they stop multiplying. Number 4. Ancient swamp statue. In 1894, Russian miners unearthed a mysterious wooden figure while draining a marsh. Since then, the statue has gained notoriety as one of the most fascinating finds in human history. This bizarre idol is twice as old as the pyramids of Giza and was crafted 12,000 years ago. In spite of the curiosity and mystery it has sparked, we have no clue as to the object's origins or history. Scholars and researchers have hypothesized that the idol represents a supernatural creature worshipped by a long-vanished culture. The unusual monument is the last remaining evidence of their civilization, and it has prompted many concerns about our planet's past and its previous inhabitants. The Shigir idol, often known as the world's oldest wooden monument, was likely made just as the last ice age was nearing its end. Number 3. Ticking time bomb. We'd want to believe that the danger posed by nuclear weapons is behind us, but the reality is more complicated. At a time when the Cold War was at its height, the United States chose to maintain a constant presence in the skies above the planet with a large fleet of bombers. As one might expect, this led to a variety of issues, one of which nearly resulted in the destruction of the entire state of North Carolina. A military plane crashed into a neighborhood next to a marsh after an error, putting everyone's life at risk. It's concerning that this plane, which was carrying weapons thought to be more destructive than the bomb that devastated Hiroshima, has now crashed into a marsh and sank to the bottom. The authorities have not been able to remove the bomb from the swamp because of the inherent danger in doing so. This goes to show how deadly things can be if humans are in control of such massive explosive capability. Now that the nuclear weapon is buried in the marsh, all we can do is cross our fingers and hope that it remains dormant. Number 2. Sinking away. The frightening footage of how quickly a sinkhole opens and swallows everything that crosses its path in minutes has gone viral. This incident depicts the destruction wreaked on Louisiana by a giant sinkhole that suddenly opened up in a river. Rapid river erosion removes the trees off the riverbank, making this marsh one of the most perilous in the state. Not only does this sinkhole continue to expand, but it is also emitting poisonous gases and polluting the surrounding area. The sinkhole, which is now over 25 acres in size, shows no signs of slowing down in its growth. This is one of the oddest things we've ever seen occur in a swamp, and it's making the whole area increasingly uninhabitable. Number 1. Baha'i Horned Beast. One of the clearest and most terrifying sightings of the horned Baha'i devil, a legendary beast from Brazilian tradition, was caught on camera by a young girl on the banks of a river. The girl was lucky to capture the moment the animal emerged onto the wide riverside from the dense jungles in the region. We still don't know what's going on in the eerie 2007 footage that shows a ghostly humanoid figure, and the mystery surrounding it hasn't gone away in the intervening years. The creature's spooky skull-like face makes us wonder whether it's a demon or an alien. But whoever or whatever it is, The creature wisely kept its distance from the camera girl. We can only pray that this terrifying beast continues to be as evasive as it has been for so many years now, because running into it while on a trip through the woods would be a terrible experience. These terrifying creatures found in rivers and swamps are surely enough to make anyone think twice before taking a dip. Thanks for watching, and be sure to check out our other mind-blowing videos showing on your screen right now. See you there.